Today in fractions we learn comparing fractions on page number 90. We learn comparing fractions on page number 90. Now fractions with same denominator. Fractions with same denominator. Now look at page number 90. Can you see this now? Can you see? Fractions with the same denominator. Let us see what happens in fractions with equal denominators and different numerators. Let us see what happens in fractions with equal denominator and different numerators now. Look at these figures. From the above figures we find each bar is in the same size and is divided into equal parts. It is in the same size and is divided into 8 equal parts. There you can see the figure, not all of the figure on the board. Now look at page number 90 now. From the above figure we find each bar is of the same size and is divided into 8 equal parts. So it is divided into how many equal parts? Now this is the figure and is divided into how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. It is divided into how many equal parts? 8 equal parts. Now the number in the shaded portion, there you can see first figure is there 1 upon 8. Again second one is there. Here you can see another one is there. Another figure is 2 upon 8, 3 upon 8, 4 upon 8, 5 upon 8, 6 upon 8, and lastly 7 upon 8. 1 upon 8 means only one part is shaded. 2 upon 8, how many parts shaded? 1, 2 parts. Now 3 upon 8, how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3. 4 upon 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts are shaded. 5 upon 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts are shaded. Now 6 upon 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts are shaded. 7 upon 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts are shaded now. The number of the shaded parts is different in each bar. So number of the shaded portion parts is different in each bar. We find that, now we know that 7 upon 8 is more than, this is more than sign, more than 6 upon 8. 6 upon 8 is more than 5 upon 8. Again 5 upon 8 is more than 4 upon 8. And again 4 upon 8 is more than 3 upon 8. And 3 upon 8 is more than 2 upon 8. And 2 upon 8 is more than 1 upon 8. So 7 upon 8 is more than 6 upon 8. 6 upon 8 is more than 5 upon 8. 5 upon 8 is more than 4 upon 8. 4 upon 8 is more than 3 upon 8. 3 upon 8 is more than 2 upon 8. And 2 upon 8 is more than 1 upon 8. Now, so when the denominator is same in all the fractions. Now this is fraction with the same denominator. The fraction with the same denominator. Number, this all 8 is all denominator. The fraction with the same denominator. So when the denominator is same in all the fractions, the bigger the numerator, the bigger is the fraction. So the bigger the numerator, the bigger is the fraction. Now 7 is the biggest numerator here. 7 is more than 6, more than 5, more than 4, more than 3, more than 2, more than 1. So if the denominator is same, the bigger the numerator, the fraction is bigger. The bigger the numerator, the fraction is bigger when the denominator is same. When the denominator is same. If the numerator and denominator are same, then the fractions are equal. If the numerator and denominator are same, then the fractions are equal. Now we'll see what are equal fractions. Now we come to equal fractions. Now equal fractions. If the numerator and denominator are same, the fractions are equal. If the numerator and denominator are same, then the fractions are equal. Now here are two figures. Now look, 1, 2, 3 parts are there. Altogether, how many parts are there? 3 parts. The 3 is the denominator. And out of these 3 parts, how many parts are shaded? 1, 2. 2 parts are shaded. 2 upon 3. Here also look at this figure. How many parts are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 is the denominator. And how many parts are shaded? 1, 2. 2 parts are shaded. 2 upon 3. So when the numerator 2, 2 and the denominator are same, denominator 3, 3, they are called equal fractions. So 2 upon 3 is equal to 2 upon 3. 2 upon 3 is equal to 2 upon 3. So the fractions are equal when the numerator and the denominator are same. Now we can show the upper fraction in number line too. We can show the upper fraction in number line. This fraction, I will show this fraction by number line here. This is the number line. Now here comes upon 3, 1 upon 3, 2 upon 3, and last one is 3 upon 3. So we can show this also. Now 3 upon 3 is more than 2 upon 3, 2 upon 3 is more than 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3 is more than 0 upon 3 when the denominators are same. Now next we come to fractions with same numerator. Now we come to fractions with same numerator. Now fractions with same numerator. Now here 1 upon 2, that means one part is shaded here. Here again 1 upon 3, only 1, 2 upon 3 parts, only one part is shaded here. Here 1 upon 4. That means 1 out of 4 parts. Here 1 upon 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 part out of 5 parts. Here 1 upon 6. 1 part out of 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts out of 6 parts. When the fraction with the same numerator. Now from the above figure we find that when the numerators are equal in all the fractions with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction. So from this figure what we find? We find that when the numerators are equal, numerator is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Numerators are all 1. When the numerators are equal in all the fractions, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3, 1 upon 4, 1 upon 5 and 1 upon 6. When the numerators are equal, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest fraction. Now which is the fraction with the biggest denominator? 1 upon 6. So 1 upon 6 is the smallest fraction, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest fraction. The fraction with the smallest denominator is 1 upon 2. This is the biggest, and the fraction with the biggest denominator 1 upon 6 is the smallest. The fraction when the numerators are same, the fractions with the biggest denominator is the smallest, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Now how can you represent this? Is 1 upon 6 is less than 1 upon 5. This is less than side. Less than 1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 is less than 1 upon 4 because the denominator is less. And 1 upon 4 is less than 1 upon 3 because 3 is less, denominator 3 is less than 4. And 1 upon 3 is less than 1 upon 2. So which is the biggest fraction? 1 upon 2 is the biggest fraction because it has the smallest denominator. So when the numerators are same, the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest, and the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest. So when the fractions have got the same numerator, the fraction with the biggest denominator is the smallest, and the fraction with the smallest denominator is the biggest. Now this can be represented as, or you can write this way, or one. Now just opposite. 1 upon 2 is more than 1 upon 3. 1 upon 3 is more than 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4 is more than 1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 is more than 1 upon 6. This is more than, this is less than sign.